Hey guys, Crystal with 360 Fitness here with your break workout of the day. Today we're going to focus on some single leg balance activities. So these can tend to be somewhat frustrating. So if you're getting frustrated, just take a breather, relax. It really is super helpful though we tend to have discrepancies from our left to right side. We usually have a stronger side and an imbalance, and that can create injuries. It can lead to poor posture. So what I want you guys to just focus on, even if you're struggling with the exercises, is just really focus on what muscles we're using. And trying to feel the difference between our left and right sides. So the first one we're going to start off with is a single leg squat. So whether you have a bench, a chair, a couch, ottoman, whatever you have, the higher the surface, the easier it's going to be. So you can play around with that. Higher will be easier. If you need a little bit more of a challenge, you can always take a weight or have a little bit lower surface. So we're going to start with one leg up in the air. I'm going to take my big breath into my belly so my core is nice and tight, and I'm just going to stand up on that one leg. Tap if you need to, but otherwise this leg's staying up. Control back down to your seat. So we're not just falling back down. And however many's in your rep range, guys. So 8 of these might be lots, 5 might be lots. But I'm gonna shoot for 10 today. And lots of control. We're gonna do 2 more here. Perfect. So if that was too hard, try a higher surface. You might get a stick, you might get a towel or a band to wrap something around so you can help pull yourself up. What I want you to focus on is as we drive up, you're pushing through your quad and you're squeezing this bum cheek. So really focus on what muscles need to be working. Maybe where you have that weakness. Maybe it's quite a surprise, you didn't know. But if we can figure out where our weaknesses are, turn them into some strengths, we're going to experience a lot less pain, a lot less injuries, and overall better posture. One more here for me, guys. Okay, so that's the single leg squat. The next thing we're going to go into is a single leg deadlift. So quite a few options for this one as well. So a true single leg deadlift, we're going to be balanced on one foot, slight knee bend here, and then we're only hinging at our hips. So we're not hinging at our belly. So it's just like somebody's putting their fingers into your hips, pushing your hips back so your butt is trying to touch the wall. So that's your standard deadlift. We're gonna do the exact same thing. You're just standing on one leg. So I want both of our hip muscles to be facing the ground. I tend to want to rotate, okay? So big breath, nice and stable, hinge forward. So I'm gonna try and get nice and flat. So this leg is extended. Maybe grab onto something if you need. You should feel the stretch through this hamstring, through your glute. Now what I want you to focus on is that standing leg. I want you to squeeze your bum and drive your hips forward to stand you up, okay? So hinge, feel that stretch, a little tap with your hand if you need, but squeeze the bum. Make sure that's what's working to pull you back up. If you're feeling really good in this one, you can add a weight. You can have a dumbbell here. That's going to intensify it a lot more, okay? If you're really struggling with the balance, we might do what we call a split stance, where you actually leave this foot on the ground. So it actually isn't carrying any weight. but it's just there for some balance. So on my weight, still in this left standing leg, This one's just here for balance. I push it back. You can add the weight here if you want. Hips are facing the ground. Squeeze the bum cheek to stand it up. Okay, so all the focus is on the back of the legs on that one. So work through like 8, 10 of those guys, both sides. And then we're gonna go into some side planks. So for our obliques and for our shoulders. So the full side plank, we're gonna stack our feet on top of each other. We wanna make sure that my hand and wrist is right underneath our shoulder. So stack joints are strong, guys. We don't want it out to the side. So I'm gonna stack my feet and I'm gonna come up nice and tall, reach for the sky. So make sure, pay attention to your spatial awareness. Am I rotating? I want nice straight T. So this hip, push high up to the sky. You're gonna squeeze this ab here. So this shoulder, it's pushing the ground away. So the arm's working, the shoulder's working, my abdomen's working. So like 20 seconds, 15 seconds, 30 seconds probably is a lot if you're squeezing as hard as you can. So you're gonna do 15 to 30 seconds on each side. If that was too challenging, here's the regression. So we're gonna go from our elbow, but my elbow is right underneath my shoulder. I'm gonna bend my knees at 90 degrees, but make sure those knees are pulled back. So my knees, they're not out in front of me. My knees, my hips, and my shoulders are still in a straight line. And then I'm just gonna push that hip up to the sky. So I'm pushing off my knee. I'm still contracting through this bottom oblique. My hip is as high as I can, and I'm still reaching from the sky. I'm still pushing the floor away. So I'm still getting shoulder activation, ab activation. Okay. Beautiful. So you probably notice a few discrepancies, guys, there between your left and right side. Work on them. Lots of times the first time you try these, it's super challenging just because your brain doesn't know how to coordinate that motion. So I promise the more you do, the better you're gonna get. And hopefully you notice that your left and right sides don't have so much of a discrepancy between them. Awesome job, guys. Get your water, get your protein into you. Have a really great rest of your day.